What's up, everyone? So Bitcoin has gave a beautiful reaction and it has pumped, nicely. And yesterday, if you guys remember from the video, I give you guys three entries. One is a liquidity sweep, second is an order block fill, and third is this fair value gap fill. And I was banking on the fact that, you are going to sweep the liquidity before pumping. Little did I know that Bitcoin would be so volatile towards the upside that it would just go straight up without filling in any sort of fair value gap. And so for that, I do apologize that we have missed the entry right here. Although there is still an opportunity, which I am going to be sharing today, and just giving you guys also the breakdown on the higher time frame, because like currently Bitcoin has swept some key levels, and some people may be wondering like, hey, is this the end of the pump? So if you want a game plan for today as well as the rest of the week, then stay tuned. But before we get into it, guys, in about 17 days, we're going to be hosting another masterclass. This time around, I'm going to give you guys the 6 skills that you need in order to overcome whatever is holding you back so that you can be consistently profitable and perhaps even get funded. For those of you who have joined past masterclasses, you know that this is just 2 hours straight of absolute value, and it's no fluff, it's no BS, and it's completely free. If you want to secure your spot, sign up down below. And otherwise, let's dive into the video. So today on Bitcoin, taking a look at the daily chart to map out our daily bias, it is incredibly bullish. A big green candle means that today is going to be continuation day. And currently we are sitting really, really close to this key level right here at 94,650. And one of the things that has really caught me off by surprise throughout this week is the fact that, the targets that we've placed were right here as well as right here. I would have expected this level to get hit, sometime during the end of the week. And this is because like for the past 3 days, we actually did not have any sort of economic news, which means that, it's quite surprising that volatility is this high. But the fact that this has, been a pleasant surprise is nothing short should not be a concern, because we have wanted to see a bullish Bitcoin for a really long time now, and it's happening. So no complaints here. We're just going to keep on trading the momentum towards the upside. And so the daily chart is, green. The bias for today is bullish, as well as we have a liquidity level right here. So let's now hop into the lower time frame to see what we can come up with in terms of entries. And before that, we're going to hop onto the 1 hourly chart. First of all, you have this bullish order block right here that you are kind of returning to right now. As of the time that I'm recording this, it is 1 hour until the New York Open kill zone, which means that if you get some kind of retracement, which I do think today is going to be in Asia, because London broke out and, did not show any indication that it wants to return to the other side of the Asia low, which means that chances are today is going to be a New York continuation setup. And if you're anticipating a New York continuation profile, then boom, you're just going to look for PD arrays to support that theory. Second of all, we have this bullish order block right here with a bullish fair value gap within that block. So going to mark that out as well. And I think that if you were to return into any of these levels, in fact, even right here, you could be taking a trade. Me personally, not just because I'm recording this video, but part of my system dictates that I want to be taking a trade when it's within a kill zone. And that's going to be 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. New York. Right now it's 6 a.m. And so even though this has filled it, I am not in a rush at the moment, just going to monitor the charts for now. Although this is a completely valid setup. So what you will look for, like heading into the New York Open kill zone, is you want to hop onto the 5-minute chart, and you just want to make sure that order flow is indeed bullish. So for example, right here, you have bearish order flow where kind of price is forming bearish order blocks. So what you want to see is for price to actually break above this bearish order block, come down to find support it. And this will give you proof that, hey, this is a change in state of delivery, meaning you're going from bullish order flow to bearish order flow. But in this case, this is bearish order flow going into bullish order flow. Now one could argue that this has overall been really bullish order flow. So this little retracement here doesn't really even matter. So right now, this is going to be the setup throughout the rest of the day, especially throughout the next 3 hours or so. Throughout the rest of the 4 to 5 hours or so, as we, get into the New York morning session, I think this is just going to be a New York continuation setup towards the upside. And the target for today is 100% going to be $94,000, or rather $95,000. I know, insane. Just less than a week ago, we were sitting at like 85,000. And about 2 weeks ago, we were sitting at 75,000, where everyone was calling for, bearishness. Now, to be fair, at the time, I was also bearish, not because I bought into the hype of like, yeah, Bitcoin's going to crash to zero. It's more of like just looking at price action. We haven't gotten the reversal signals that we were looking for yet until this point right here. Once that happened, then we started flipping bullish. And right now, the more important thing to understand is that with this candle that we formed 2 days ago, that is the most bullish signal that we could possibly get, because that confirms a 100% chance that you have a change in state of delivery from bearish order flow to now bullish order flow, which means that for the upcoming, I would think 2 months, we're going to be pretty bullish. And the reason for that also ties into Trump's tariffs. So he put a pause for 90 days to the tariffs. Now, whether or not that's going to be positive news for the market is yet to be seen. But for now, the market is reacting really positively, and the USD is kind of crashing, which is great for the stock market as well as risk on assets like crypto. For those of you who have joined the macro masterclass that was delivered absolutely for free in the past, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But otherwise, right now, just Bitcoin's kind of having like a temporary macro, tailwind when it comes to just the 90-day pauses. Now, we do not know, again, the fate of the world, basically, the fate of the stock market basically hangs on the shoulders of one man. And until he comes out with the decision, we will never know for certain, right? There's no point predicting it. Right now is just trading the short term, which is the fact that Bitcoin is pointing up at the moment. So is on a lot of other cryptos. And until this uptrend is over, we just go balls deep into this move. And then once those uncertain, events come out, then boom, right? We've already made our money. It's okay. We get out for the next, 3 months where there's going to be uncertainty and the market is potentially going to flip back short. So we'll see. I don't know if we will form, like a new all-time high from this point onwards, but what I know for sure is that things are looking good for now. And if you appreciate these analyses from the smart money perspective on Bitcoin and on other cryptos, then subscribe, drop a bell notification, or rather tap on, because I'll be coming to you guys with pretty much daily uploads. And as well as for the rest of you here who's watched until this point, I'm going to brief you guys on a quick little Solana setup, which I called for Bootcamp earlier, which is going to be right here. So Solana is pretty much the same thing with Bitcoin, but this time around you have a very clear fair value gap that you can take advantage of. If you were to retrace into it, sometime in between 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. New York, look for, again, lower time frame order flows to also line up to be bullish. And this will be a easy, even if you were to not complicate this, just placing an entry at the liquidity suit. Let's take a look at the 1 hourly chart. Where is that liquidity suit? It's right there. So we're expecting this liquidity to get taken out. If it doesn't, and it just bounces from this order this order block right here, then you know exactly what to do as well. So there are 2 potential entries at the moment, and that's going to be one targeting just 2R, very simple, just targeting the previous high for 2.6. And the other one's going to be right here at the fair value gap, targeting also that previous high for about 4.6. So nothing wrong with either one of these setups, but this will be the idea for Solana. There's a chance that also it could return back to this order block. The key here, and that's what I teach in book. That's why I teach time frame alignment. It's not about setting limits on these fair value gaps or these order blocks. It's more of once you get into a certain time zone, or rather kill zone, or a certain session, well, the keyword here is timing. Once you get into a certain timing, you want to look for certain behaviors of price at certain areas. This is how you get a high probability trade setup. Now, I really cannot for the life of me tell you which one of these PD arrays are going to be resected. The only thing that will tell is that once you enter the New York open kill zone, depending on how price reacts at any one of these levels, that's going to give you the answer. This is what I teach in bootcamp. And if you are interested in bootcamp, by the way, that is where I work with you basically one-on-one over the course of 45 to 60 days to get you funded. That's right, funded in 45 to 60 days, not a whole year. It's not a 6-month mentorship or whatever. I'm going to take you from zero to hero within the 45 to 60 days, give you everything that you need in order to become a full-time trader. If you don't want to do this full-time, that's completely fair enough, but at least you will have the ability to make money consistently from the markets and to achieve financial freedom, location freedom, time freedom, whatever it is that matters to you. If you are interested, I will put a second link in the description box below underneath the masterclass for you to check out what we offer here at Bootcamp. But otherwise, for now, stay tuned. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.